Hello YouTube, Sam here from youtube.com/onlivegamer for the new Boston, and in this tutorial we're going to continue working on our FTP downloader. So what we're going to be talking about now is deleting a file from the FTP server. Now, if you want to delete, upload, and download files, it all depends on the permissions of the user for the server. So let me open up my FileZilla server here. Let's see, here it is. So you can see there's a whole bunch of activity from me connecting to it through this program. If I go to my users, you can see I have a tutorials, and under the shared folders they can read, write, delete, and append. So make sure if you have an FTP server set up that they have all these permissions, or if you're connecting to one, because if they don't have these permissions then you won't be able to use this functionality. So we'll go ahead and double click on delete, and let's make sure that they have actually selected a file. So if list FTP files dot selected index does not equal -1, then we'll go ahead and do this. Now -1 is the index that is pretty much selected if nothing on there is selected, and then it starts at 0 and goes down to the list. So we'll just type FTP downloader dot delete, or FTP delete, and then for the file name we're going to use list FTP files dot selected item. So you may have remembered when we created download we didn't have this if statement right here, so what we need to do is add that up here. So if list FTP files dot selected index does not equal -1, then we'll go ahead and download it. So we'll just end if right here, and if the selected index is -1, then we just want to tell them. So we'll just use an else. I'll type messagebox.show please select a file, error, and then messagebox buttons.ok, and then messagebox icon dot error. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see what happens if they try to download something that isn't there. It says error, please select a file, and you can hear it plays that error noise. So we'll go ahead and come back down into delete, and if the selected index is equal to -1, then we're going to delete that. So now what we need to do is add an else. So if it is, then we'll just type messagebox.show please select a file, and since we're using the same thing right here, let's just go ahead and copy this and paste it. Okay, so you can see here that we've got FTP delete, and we also have an option to FTP downloader dot delete directory. Now this lets us delete a directory in the FTP server, but we're not going to worry about that right now. Right now we're just going to delete files. So in order to make it to where they can only delete files and not whole folders, we need to add an and right here. So if the selected index is -1 and list FTP files dot selected item does not contain something, then does not contain a period, or does contain a period, then we want to let them go ahead and delete it. So in order to use contains, what we're going to have to do is create a variable. So dim file as string, and we'll set it equal to this right here. So we'll just copy that and paste it. So if the selected index is not equal to -1 and file dot contains a period, then go ahead and let them delete it. Now we need to get rid of this right here. So we'll go ahead and run this, and we'll go ahead and not update server, we'll go to the home directory of our server, and let's delete the Jackal copy. So we'll go ahead and click delete, and you may be thinking, well, it didn't work. Well, if we go back to the home directory, you can see it's gone. So what we need to do whenever they delete a file is we'll type refresh list. So whenever they delete it, it's just going to update everything that is in that list box. Now what you could also do is add a message box so that it verifies that they want to delete the file, but we're not going to do that because if they're retarded enough to click it and they don't want it deleted, then that's their own fault. So we'll go ahead and go to home directory, and let's go ahead and delete this right here, and you can see that it's gone now. And if we click a folder right here and click delete, it'll say error, please select a file, because that is a folder. And then we can open that folder and we can delete stuff in there. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. And so put in this code if you haven't already. Make sure you change the button download code, and once you've done that, if you understand everything and you don't have any questions, move on to the next tutorial.